Welcome to the Fantasy Back Porch Hour. We are Lil D,
Howdy, howdy.
Hakuna Matata brother.
Means no worries.
That's right. Sleaze, the Fantasy Alchemist. I am Bear. This is Outlaw.
Let's do it. Well, tonight we're going to review the rest of the teams in the 12-team Keeper League. The first team we're going to review is a team called Miami Player, also my brother, also called the Referee. Well, his very first draft pick, he didn't actually get the pick, it was the keeper, it was Aaron Rodgers. Followed by a second round, Frank Gore. Third round, Darren Sproles. Fourth round was Jordy Nelson. Fifth round, two fourth-round picks.
Wow.
His second fourth-round pick was Steve Smith. Fifth round, he had Demaryius Thomas, his other keeper. Sixth round was Miles Austin. Seventh round was Kenny Britt. Eighth round was D'Angelo Williams. Ninth round was Jermaine Gresham. He had two 10th-round picks, first one being Michael Vick. Second one being Sidney Rice. The 11th round, Golden Tate. 12th round, Josh Brown. And in his last round, which was for him, the 13th round, he picked the New England Patriots. How did you take the New England Patriots? You're a Dolphin fan.
Your name is Miami Player.
And you
I know.
Real,
Oh wait, I know why. I know why.
You can't take any Patriots.
He is one of the fantasy eggplants in the league. One of the
Definitely an
men.
eggplant.
So, Little D, what stood out to you about Miami Players' team?
well, I've been reading up on my fantasy info, and I see that Jordy Nelson has recently had knee surgery.
He did recently have knee
Yes,
surgery.
So I'm just kind of curious to see how that goes for you, Ref.
Well,
That's what I'm going to call you from here on out.
The good news is he still has Demaryius Thomas, and we don't like Steve Smith's matchup, but he could throw those two in.
No, we don't. We definitely don't like Steve Smith in Week 1. Throughout the entire season, though, he could pan out
Yeah.
as he usually does.
Yeah.
I also like, from your team, Ref, Frank Gore in the second round.
That was a good pick.
I think to get him in the second round of a
Right,
keeper league
and-
is
yeah.
a good.
And being in Keeper League, you can consider that to be late 3 at the earliest. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Generally
so
late
that-
3, 4.
That's
Frank Gore
probably
was-
a good pick
Frank
up
Gore was
there.
good. That was a good pick.
That was a good pick. For some reason, he picked Miles Austin.
Yeah.
I stayed away from Miles Austin at all costs.
I did too, but again, you have to look at whatever team Dallas is playing. The best corner for the defense is going to be on Dez Bryant. So Austin, I'm not saying every week he's going to be a great matchup, but there are going to be weeks where you're going to want to play him.
Exactly.
So it's not a bad pick.
Now, I did like that if you had to take a Carolina Panther at a running back, he did take the right one.
He took the right one, but to me, any Carolina Panther running back that you draft in single digits is a wasted pick.
Yep. Now, his backup quarterback, Michael Vick, I thought was a good choice. I mean,
Yes.
he got him in the 10th round. Way late.
100% agree on that.
Yeah. If nothing else, trade.
Exactly.
Michael Vick is going to have, provided Michael Vick plays the whole season, he's going to have a bounce back year. He's
If
going
he
to
says
put up
healthy.
great numbers.
Because this offense is built for Vic.
This
is
right.
This is what he's always wanted.
Now, overall, I see his team as middle of the road, possibly a playoff team because his division really only, in my opinion, only has one really strong team.
Whose team is that?
That'd be your team.
Thank you.
Other than that, there's a lot of good teams, no real great teams. That's
Except
where I
for
see-
mine.
So
Okay,
you're
sorry.
saying his team is like a team 2.
Yes.
Okay.
A team 2 in that division.
Okay.
Here's what I don't like.
And
that
it will
he
be a
took.
team 2 that will make the playoffs.
Yes.
And it could be him.
It could be him.
What I don't like out of his draft is Darren Sproles because he drafted a couple positions in front of me, and I wanted Sproles.
But that's a good choice.
It is a good
That's
choice.
a very good pick.
Of course it was, because that's who I wanted.
Especially since this is a PPR league where you also
Yeah.
get return yardage.
Exactly.
So, overall, decent team.
Honestly, would not be upset to have the team.
No.
I might not have drafted this, but you know
No,
what?
there's
If somebody-
far worse.
I would not be disappointed in the team. I think
No,
Jeffrey
it's
did very
very
well.
solid, very solid.
Yeah.
So, why don't we go over the Green Light District?
All right, number 1, Chris Johnson. That was not a keeper.
That was not a keeper.
Negative.
He took him in the first round. To me, a little early, but wasn't my pick.
He did have
Yeah,
the
look at
very
what
last
was there.
pick. He did have the very last pick in the first round.
Okay.
Look at what was left.
Okay.
Not much.
Roddy White coming to back. First pick, second round. His 2 keepers were 3 and 4, AJ Green and Victor Cruz. I mean, his wide receivers right now pretty decent through wide receivers.
Really decent wide receivers.
Yeah, I don't understand keeping 2 wide receivers,
Neither do
though,
I.
but you know what? That's me.
Especially when you had Marshawn Lynch.
Right.
Victor Cruz.
Wow.
as
I would
a
have
keeper.
kept Lynch over Cruz.
Me too.
Without a doubt.
Me too.
I mean, I can see keeping Green, but
Not Cruz.
not Cruz over Lynch. But again, okay, not my team.
Playing with his heart.
Number 5, Romo. To me, a little early for Romo.
A little early.
A little early.
And whose fault
But-
is that? That was your fault.
Yeah,
but
you,
okay,
you
continue.
started that quarterback run.
Yeah, continue.
Jealousy is never pretty. Number 6, Chris Ivory. To me, again, a little early, but hey.
Well, especially since he's not the starting running back.
He had no 7th round pick. He had
Correct.
2 8s. He took the Houston defense in 8, then Shane Vereen. Number 9, he took Matt Schaub. 10, Matt Prater. He had 2 10s. The other number 10 he took Andre Brown.
That sucks.
Does now.
You can't predict that.
No, you can't. No. And he had no 11, he had no 12. And 13, he took Ed Dixon. 14, he took Greg Little. And 15, Mohamed Sanu. Which, that's a very good last round pick.
I thought that
To
was
me.
the steal of the draft.
That's a great pick.
So
Here's what I want to pick on, though. I want to pick on something before you throw it to him. You took
Okay.
Chris Ivory. Though, at the time the draft happened, and this is why Chris Ivory was too early in round 6, is because at the time the draft happened, it did look like Chris Ivory was going to be the clear-cut number 1 running back in New York. But he's not now.
No.
well, and he also was
He is second string on the depth
But
chart.
again, like you said, at the time we drafted, he was number
Right.
1.
But
So
he was
That's why he was too early.
but he was number 1 without practicing yet.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why he was too early.
So little
Bill?
D. Sorry.
that's how you're going.
So little D. What do you think?
Victor Cruz is a keeper. I mean, you had Roddy White right there.
But Cruz is not a keeper over Lynch, to me.
Not
I
over
would agree.
Marshawn Lynch.
But he kept him, that's fine.
Now in his defense,
He's a Giants fan.
well, he is a Giants fan.
Okay, I
That's
can
not
see that.
that's not defensible. He had Marshawn. If he would have kept Marshawn Lynch,
And I would
ta-
have.
that
Oh
would
my
have.
God.
But that would have taken his 2nd round slot, which would have not enabled him to get Roddy White, and in his opinion, not get Victor Cruz either in that round. Although, I think he still would have been able to
And
eventually.
there's the thing about a keeper league, though. When it does come down to who you're keeping,
Alright,
and
that's
if
a
it's
little
somebody that
different,
you
but-
ultimately want to have, then you have to put all this thought into it and look at projected draft positions, and you have to try and think
Yeah.
like everyone else and see, can I get this guy?
Yep. Now,
And if you don't foresee yourself getting the guy,
Then you
have to
keep
go
him.
ahead and keep him.
Yeah.
For instance, with myself, I would have loved to have Des Bryant again, but I wasn't going to keep him over Arian Foster.
or Doug Martin.
So I go
Yeah.
exactly. So I go ahead and take my chances, and I did not get Des Bryant. Instead, I got Larry Fitzgerald.
Now, he does have really strong wide receivers. Unfortunately
He does.
for him, his number 2 running back was Chris Ivory, who is now the number 2 in New York.
Right.
Exactly.
He also had Andre Brown, who at the time was healthy,
Yeah.
but then broke his leg a couple
Exactly.
minutes later.
Yeah.
So he's left with Chris Johnson and
Yeah.
Shane Vereen.
Exactly.
That's a pretty weak running back core.
I mean, I can
I would
see.
drop pretty from that sentence, but okay.
It's a really weak
It
running
is.
back
I
core.
can see Shane Vereen being a viable flex play later in the
Mhm.
season, but right off the bat, not the person you want, not the player that you want as your number 2.
Yeah. And the other thing, though, Sanu to me is a good pickup.
I think it's the best pickup in that round.
But the only problem is AJ Green.
Yeah. But that's
You're
why
not-
Sanu is worthy, because he's
Unless
not
Green
gonna
gets
be-
hurt, I would not put them both on. I would never play the 2 of them on the same week.
No, you can't.
I wouldn't. So it almost cancels out. It's a great pick,
Yeah.
a great late round pick, but not on that team.
So where do you see his team finishing then this year?
Middle of the pack.
I'd say so too.
I was going to say 7-8.
Yeah, see, another one of those teams that he has a lot of trade bait. He can make some trades to,
Yeah,
to
he
fill
can
in
trade
that.
Sanu.
Yeah.
I think he could get.
That's all up
he can get
to
something
it's
for
all up to whether or not he can work it out, though.
But even
And if the ref decides it's going to be vetoed or not.
I might veto it.
that's true. That's
You
true.
never know.
But he's another team that could maybe slide into that last playoff spot. He's got 3 really good wide receivers, which
I agree.
that's not championship worthy.
No,
but
I don't
it
think so
could
either.
push him into the
No.
playoffs, or it gives him trade bait to get there.
No.
So now let's go over sit a winner.
All right.
Okay.
Now, this is a guy, even though he's a Jets fan, so unfortunate. But he took over somebody else's team postseason because they were unable to play for whatever their personal reason was. He came in working with some garbage that somebody left behind, kind of like a new head coach taking over an absolute garbage team.
Yes. Oh, like Jacksonville.
Correct. There you go. He is
Gus.
Gus Bradley.
Yeah.
So he made some trades and, increased his draft position. So ended up with 2 first-round picks and drafting number 1 overall because he took over the last place team. He takes number 1 overall, LaShawn McCoy. Second pick in the first round, picking right before me, he takes Dez Bryant. Peyton Manning, his keeper, round 3. Eric Decker, his keeper, round 4. No 5th round pick. In 6th round, Ahmad Bradshaw, Lance Moore. Then in 8, takes Arizona Cardinals defense.
A little early.
A little early, I think.
Little?
A lot early.
Being nice.
Round 9, Brandon Myers, tight end. 2 10th round picks, Denarius Moore and Justin Blackman. 11, he takes a kicker with Phil Dawson. 12, Sean Green. 13, Carson Palmer. 14, Danny Woodhead. And 15,
That would be
Stephen
Stephen Hill.
Hill?
Yeah, Stephen
Okay.
Hill.
yeah, Stephen Hill. So you're looking at it, S. Hill.
Yeah. Stephen Hill.
Oh,
The
that's
New
San
York-
Juan Hill?
The New York Jet.
Yeah.
Oh, you had to get a
He
jet.
had to get a
Okay.
jet.
Week round 10 kind of weak to me.
The entire draft kind of weak.
Yeah.
Well,
McCoy was the only pick I
That's-
liked.
McCoy
no,
and Bryant.
That's what I was gonna say.
Yeah.
I like that, but you know what? I like the move that he made when he knew he had the number 1 pick overall. He had McCoy, but he dropped him and kept 2 others, knowing he could get McCoy back.
Exactly. And
That was
a smart move.
Oh my God,
Well,
that was
here's
a
the
damn
thing,
smart
though.
move.
With his second first-round pick, he jumped on Dez Bryant instead of taking a second running back. Now, what does he have for running backs? LaShawn McCoy and Ahmad Bradshaw.
Exactly.
He has. Oh, wait a minute. Sean Green.
no,
Danny Woodhead.
there's some great ones.
He has 1 starting running back, 1 viable starting running back.
Yep.
That you can start throughout the season.
Yep.
That's no good.
No, it's not.
What else do you like or dislike about that team?
I dislike Arizona's D in the 8th round.
Oh my
too.
God, that was
I think-
way too early.
One that was too early too. It's Arizona.
I know, yeah.
Defense.
Don't ever take a defense before until your rounds hit double digits. I don't give a damn who it is.
I think-
Don't.
What are you telling these
Don't.
people what are you telling these guys when you go to work with them? Are you just like,
Complete and utter nonsense.
do you beat them? Do
Okay.
you beat them in the head with a club or
No.
poison them so that they make these decisions?
No, I tell them things like Matt Flynn is my highest rated quarterback.
Wow.
Like, it's up to them
And
to.
because you're the alchemist, they believe you.
They do believe me.
I
It's
know.
their job to do the research.
Good.
But the worst part about his team
Yeah.
is that he's a Jet fan.
I know. And I'm not going to say this just because he's a Jet fan, but that team to me, 10, 11, 12.
Yeah, bottom of the barrel.
I
Can
like
we
that.
can we implement a toilet bowl game into fantasy football because
He's going to be there.
he's going to be in
He's
it?
definitely going to be there.
The teams with the 2 teams with the worst record need to play in a toilet bowl game so that we can see who is actually the worst team. They need to play for the number 1 draft pick.
I think that's going to happen.
I think so
I think
too.
that's going to happen.
Yeah.
We need a toilet bowl game.
And we know
he's going to be there.
we know Center Winter's going to be the one of them.
He's going to be there.
So that's the review of Miami player,
Yeah.
Center Winter, and the Green Light District.
Thank you. That's it for this segment of the Fantasy Life Coach Hour. Stay frosty.